So much for the interview, bro.
Absolutely, absolutely. Anytime, you know what it is. I see you always, guys working hard in the gym, siempre sparring, always getting, your tools sharpened up. I love seeing that, man.
Thank you, man. It got cut, so
Oh, I
I didn't
said
get
that
what
I'm
you
always
said.
seeing you guys sparring in the gym and always sharpening up the tools. It's nice to see.
Yeah, man. Thank God. Yeah, today was a good day, man. David went 10 rounds, man, with different people. So super excited, man.
Seems to me November is super busy for you. Starting with Diego Pacheco, I think.
On the 18th, Diego Pacheco, Federico Pacheco, and then the card with David Jr. is the co-main event with Charlo, and then Blanca's fights there also. So I have another fighter there too. His name is Julio Porras. He's also going to be fighting there. So we're busy, man. We're busy. We're trying to put Dennis Douglin in there also. So it'll be
Oh yeah,
exciting.
that's awesome. That's awesome. Uh, I love Mama's boy. He's a funny guy, man.
He's
He's a good
funny,
guy.
man. He brings a lot of joy to here, man. A lot of happiness, man. He's he got a good spirit, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. He talks very highly of you guys. He said he loves all you. Um,
Yeah, yeah, he's like family, bro.
Facts, facts, facts. So, obviously, you was able to see the Canelo fight. But before that, I mean, just leading up to the Mario Barrios fight with Ugas. What were your thoughts on it?
I thought it was a great fight, man. I think it was a good fight in my opinion. It was a close fight, and unfortunately they stopped the fight. Uh, but it was a good
No, it went the distance.
Barrio.
It went the distance.
Yeah, it went to distance, but they were about to stop it because of the eye, But I think they should have stopped it earlier, just for the safety of Ugas. That eye, man, was shot off, So, but it was fun to watch.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then on that same card, what you thought about the Lubin and Jesus Ramos? A lot of people thought it was a lot of controversy. What were your
Well,
thoughts on it?
it all depends on what the people were watching. I wanted Ramos to win because I know him, But Leuven, also, he's a nice guy. We talked to him, And actually, I was rooting for both of them. Whoever won, the whoever came with more condition and all that. I thought it was a good fight. But it all depends on what the judges were watching. Leuven was maybe get throwing more clean punches and more flurries. And Ramos was just throwing a lot, and a lot of those punches were blocked also. But I think Ramos had just one here, man. To be honest, he was just more basic and doing the things over and over. I think Lubin kind of caught up to him, and he knew what shots were coming. And with Lubin, he was a little tricky. He'd throw flurries, he'd throw different jabs and different combinations. But at the end of the day, whoever, I thought to me maybe a draw. But
Me too.
at the end of the day, like I say, I'm not a judge, so I don't know, what they were looking for or whatever. But you know, I like both guys, so I'm happy of whatever happened.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a guy that he throws a lot of high volume punching, and it kind of makes you think, hey, and he's a big guy. Kind of makes you think, hey, is it time to move up and weight? But also, he's only 22 years old. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's not the end of the world. In my opinion, I think he should come back and try to do the jab, double jab, 1, 2s, and then open up with something big. He did have his good moments in the UFC. In my opinion, he should have used a little bit more angles, use a jab a little bit just to set him up, open up and close with something big. But he was just throwing everything big right away, in my opinion. But like I say, I don't know.
So, the main event, Canelo Alvarez and Jermell Charlo. What's your initial reaction watching that 12-round fight?
Well, believe it or not, I was going for Canelo. To be honest with, I wanted him to beat Charlo and look impressive and maybe knock him out in order for him to get all that confidence. And maybe that confidence will make him fight David Benavidez, Um, and to me, he looked good. He he went in there, condition looked good, but just I just think that the power is not there anymore. At 150, look at this guy at 154. He had a lot of opportunities to finish him, but Charlo, was there and he never really got hurt. Yes, he dropped him, but it was a flash knockdown. He got up, no problem, and Canelo couldn't finish him. And those shots looked like they were going with a lot of power, man. But nothing happened. So I don't think he thinks that Canelo's back. That's the Canelo he thinks that he won, and he believes that he was strong and he's good, and hopefully he could fight David. Bubu Andrade, we can't underestimate Bubu Andrade. He's a very dangerous fighter. He's a good fighter, a slick fighter, a tricky fighter, and that's why people don't want to fight him. you know. And we want to take that challenge. We want to prove the people that David can fight those type of guys and close the distance and take advantage when he puts them in the corner. It's going to be really hard for to make Boo Boo fight in the middle of the ring. So we got to back him up and put him against the ropes because he knows that that's what he does, and I don't think he's going to come forward with David. We need to come forward, close the distance, and attack that body and look at spectacular in order to go to the bigger fights.
Right. It seems to me you have like two opportunities here. Obviously, you have the comeback of Jose Benavidez Jr. Fighting Jamal Charlo. Now, there was talks of Canelo fighting Jamal Charlo. Do you feel like you can kind of, with Jose, disrupt those plans?
Well, yeah, they think that Junior it's already done. They're looking for a little tune-up for Jermell to fight Canelo. I don't think nobody cares about that fight Canelo with Jermell. Yeah. It's gonna Charlo. And if Canelo doesn't want to fight David, I think he would love to fight Junior. So I think he'll go that route. So I think either or that could be a good thing for us.
Speaking upon that with Jose and Jamal, when it comes down to that fight, obviously Jamal has an extreme huge layoff. Do you believe that that's going to be a big factor in this fight?
Of course, of course. I'm not going to come and lie to you and say we're fighting the best Charlo. He hasn't fought for almost 3 years. He has mental problems. He's going through the boards. He's been drinking a lot. So I think in my opinion, it's a 50-50 fight. Junior just fought like about a month ago and Junior hasn't been active either. So I think, man, when they told me that, let's do it. Let's make that happen. It's a good fight. It's a fight that he needs. So I'm excited about this. I'm super excited. I'm just hoping that Jamal comes through and doesn't back up from Junior's. And I mean, I'm hoping that he comes through.
Um, when it comes down to Jamal, you did say that is a better boxer, but in this fight particularly, obviously Jose only has one fight at 160 pounds. Would that matter when it comes down to this fight coming up?
Yeah, I was cutting off. I didn't really understand what you said.
Okay.
But yes, I did say that Jamal. Can you, yeah, can you repeat that again?
No, absolutely. So, Jose has one fight at 160 pounds. Do you believe that's going to matter in this fight? And is this fight going to be hosted at 160 pounds?
Yeah, you know what? We're worried, and to be honest with you, um, fight any of the Charlos. He looked just went there to survive. I mean, Canelo throw like 350 punches.
Right.
Charlo, how many did Charlo throw? Did he really try? Did he really wanted to beat Canelo? I think he was just there for the money. So, I mean, in my opinion, I mean, what happened to those lions? I
Mhm.
mean, fuck, we'll fight them with Junior or whoever. I mean, if it doesn't happen with the big Charlo, we'll take the little Charlo. Not a problem.
Do you think that they're overlooking Junior with the Maul?
Both of them. Like I said, I thought, man, I was a big fan of the Charlo brothers. But now, what I seen, how can you give them respect? How can you take them serious? I mean, they didn't show me no heart. They didn't show me no animal. They didn't show me no lion. I mean, they were just surviving there. So my mind is not the same no more. Uh, they have to come again and prove themselves again, and come stronger in order for I think for the fans and for the people to believe on them again.
Um, at the end of the fight, Canelo Alvarez mentioned that there's nobody that could beat Canelo at 168 pounds. This is the best Canelo. Um, did you see anything different in that fight this weekend?
Of course, Canelo said, "Yeah, this is Canelo. Canelo's back." I rate myself a 10, but once they mention David Benavidez, then everything goes away. He don't want to fight David Benavidez, and you can tell by always changing the subject or the conversation. He when once he hears David Benavidez, now he changes everything. Hey, he's ready to fight anybody,
Hmm.
and he'll mention David. He'll say, "Yeah, bring David, bring whoever." But he goes the other way. So if he felt that he's the best at 168, he should mention anybody. Anybody.
It seems to me that a lot of people are trying to promote this fight for Cinco de Mayo. Obviously, we seen at the end of the fight they mentioned David saying, "Hey, what about David Benavidez on Cinco de Mayo?" And like you said, he said, "I don't care." Is that basically what you're referring to?
Of course. I'm ready for these guys. Bring whoever you want to bring. But he doesn't do that. So, I feel like, damn, this fucking the pound for pound, the face of boxing does not want to fight David Benavidez. That makes me feel good. So that I think that we're into something. We're making something good. So even though if we never fight him, I could always say that he didn't want to fight David. You know, he has respect for David. He knows that David can probably beat him, and that's good. I feel good with that.
When it comes down, I remember interviewing you before the fight happened, and you told me right away, this is not even fair. We got the small Charlo going to be fighting Canelo, and you was completely uninterested in talking about the subject. You was respectfully answering the questions as a professional, but in reality, as a coach, you believed that the weight difference was going to be a big difference in this fight, especially the durability when we all
Of
seen that
course, we can see all that.
yeah, so as boxing fans, we seen that the durability of Charlo wasn't there. Going off of David, I mean, if he had that opportunity, how sure are you of the durability of David to be able to take those blows from Canelo?
Yeah, you were cutting off again, but yeah, I kind of understand. Yeah, that 154 going up to 168. Yeah, the weight factor. We can see that Charlo was trying to throw those punches. He wouldn't even move Canelo. Canelo would throw a punch, and then you can see the difference of the size. And now, it's going to look so. There's not even why. Why would they even do that? And if he calls himself the best at 168, fight a true 168, fight David Benavidez, and that will be a big difference. It will be even, and it will be a fight that all the fans want to see. But like I said, right now, we're focused on Andrade. Fuck Canelo. I don't care about Canelo right now. That's not in our mind. We're focused on fighting Boo Boo Andrade. Focus on that. We can't mention Canelo right now. We got a big test in front of us. We got to prove ourselves, and that's what's in our minds right now. Boo Boo Andrade is the one that we're focusing 100% right now.
And that date is for certain for November 26th. Do I got the date right?
25th,
The 25th. Okay. Um,
the
you know,
25th.
Okay, so now observing, Bubu Andres just a little bit more. Obviously, you guys are developing a game plan to be able to beat him. When it comes down to you, like what makes Bubu Andres special, and obviously, what are you guys, without spilling the game plan, but are you guys planning on, neutralizing those things that he does well?
Well, I'll tell you something right now. You know how Boo Boo fights. You guys pretty
So
much
you
know what's
believe
going to
he has to
happen,
kind of
what the
adjust? He
game
has
plan.
to adjust to David. He has to adjust to David
Yeah.
more than.
So I mean, Boo Boo, it's a great fighter, man. He's gonna try. I think he's. I mean, all these years, all the experience, he's gonna try to do as much as he can. This is a big fight for Boo Boo. If we beat Boo Boo, what do we get? We don't get nothing. Now, if Boo Boo beats David, we'll gain a lot if he is successful. That he has to train for and prove everybody wrong. But it's our time also the best at 168, and he has to prove him in a fashion way. Be a great fight, man. We're gonna make him fight, and it's a good fight. A lot of people don't believe on the talent that Boo Boo has, but I think he has a lot of talent, and it makes a
Absolutely,
dangerous fight.
absolutely. Touching back on Jose's fight with Jamal. Obviously, I don't know if you've seen, but it seems to me that he changed his trainer from Rodney Shields to Roy Jones. What do you think what was that? Do you think that was a good change, or do you think that was kind of out of the ordinary?
Why would you go to another trainer? When the trainer that you've been with so long, knows everything about. The fuck has he trained? In my opinion, I think he's gonna bring other things, and I love that. I love that because they need more time in order to work together and get to know each other. He was 5 years old, so we got an.
Yeah, that was what my next question was. If you believe that they put themselves in a disadvantage due to adding Roy Jones, I completely agree. I completely agree. When it comes down to this fight, how excited are you? I mean, you get your boys on the card, and we're seeing a great card. I mean, I think that adding Jamal and your son kind of made the card just so much more greater. Speak upon that. Yep. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hey,
My phone was freezing up a little bit. Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Um, my question was is I believe that adding your other son, your oldest son, Jose, and Jamal just made this card just a lot more deeper, a lot more better, a lot more entertaining. um and that being said,
For
do you
sure.
believe that the pay-per-view buys would just be now to be a lot bigger due to the fact that they added that fight?
For sure, man. I think it's exciting, even for me, like fighting the Charlos, Fuck, man, that's exciting. And man, that's good. And I think they're bringing other guys that are gonna bring more excitement to the card. To be in the card. Uh, so even that, makes it bigger, because he's right there also. So I'm excited, man. I think yeah, it's gonna bring more pay-per-views, and I'm excited, man. I think it's a good thing. Al Heyman is throwing nothing but big shows. Hell of a job, and I'm super happy with PBC, Al Heyman, and everything that they're doing, man. And I hope we keep getting more of the good cards, man.
Um, so you just said that you think that they're going to be adding David Morrell on the card as well. Is that
Yeah,
what you?
that's what I kind of heard. David Morrell is also on the card, so that's exciting. Exciting.
Absolutely, absolutely. At this point in time, David, what is that? 20, 25 years old now? Your son David, is he 25 years old now? Oh, you know what you should do, Jose? Press the X on the top and then go back into
Can
the
you hear
link.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you. To maybe you should X out of this on the top corner and then go right back into the link, and maybe that will reset everything.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. Yeah.
Sounds good. This is Mill City Boxing, home of the high level pro boxing media. We got David Benavidez, Jose Benavidez, his father and trainer. Make sure you guys please smash the like button. We got over 100 people here and only 15 likes. This is Mill City Boxing, man, and we try to bring you guys some of the best interviews. So make sure you guys show your support by leaving a like. It's free, and he's back. All right.
Are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me better?
That sounds much better, I think.
Okay, sorry about that. It's just a little signal, unfortunately, today. But when it comes down to training for this upcoming fight, obviously you have both of your boys, working. Do you guys kind of feed off of each other when it comes down to moments like this?
For sure, man. We're super happy, super excited to have my two sons fighting the same card, and David super motivated to have his brother in the same card. So, man, we're working together, and it's amazing, man. To be honest, at the end of the day, all these belts, all these victories, all that don't mean nothing to me, man. What spending time with my two sons, man, it's the biggest reward in life, working together and enjoying these moments. My grandson is here, my granddaughters are here, Junior's here, David's here, and it's amazing, man. It's a great thing, that I really want to thank God for, and that's very motivating for me.
Do you believe that obviously the world knows that Bubo Andres hasn't seen a fighter anywhere close to this level. Even if you break down two levels from now, even not even at that level. Um, does this fight bring you animosity when it comes down to not going the distance? Obviously you guys went the distance with Caleb Plant. uh what do you think about this fight? Do you believe
Yeah,
that?
my respects to Caleb Plant, man. Fucking warrior, fucking guy, man. That went out on his shield. In our minds, we want to destroy everybody. In our minds, we want to knock everybody out. Everybody likes knockouts. We did everything that we could. It was a great fight, and in my respects to Caleb Plant, here we're not. It's not that we want to go in there and knock out Boo Boo Andrade. He's a good fighter, but we are going with bad intentions. We want to look impressive. We want to stop them, But at the end of the day, we got to make sure we hurt him first in order for us to knock him out, you know? And that's what we want. We want to look impressive, and we are looking for the knockout. But at the end of the day, we got to be smart about it. If it comes, it comes. If not, we want to give the fans a good fight.
Um, you know, when it comes, I don't know if you have seen any interviews of you know Bubu Andres, but he did mention that he is a lot better than Caleb Plant. What do you think about that statement? Do you believe that?
Are you there?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Bubu said that he's a yes, yes. Bubu said that he's a lot better than Caleb Plant. What are your assumptions on that statement that he said?
Oh, you said that Boo Boo said that he's a little bit better than Caleb Plant. I'll
Yes.
tell you right now, different styles. I wouldn't say he's better than Caleb Plant. I think Caleb Plant is a different fighter. He has good. Caleb Plant has good footwork, good combinations, good IQ is super good. Um, I couldn't even compare both of those fighters. To be honest with you, we will see who's better on the 25th. You know, we never fought nobody like Boo Boo.
Mm. What have you been bringing? Anything different to this training camp versus your other training camps? Did you hear the question, Jose?
Yeah, you know what? There's nothing different really. We are working super hard. We already have the experience of what we learned in the past. I believe that David's only 26 years old. He keeps learning, and we keep adding a little bit more stuff in it. But at the end of the day, I think it's just David. He's on a different level. He's more mature. He knows what he wants. He's more stable, and he's more disciplined, more dedicated. So that's one of the biggest things that we have now. Uh, Finally, I get to matured a lot, and he's in a different world, man. You know, uh, you'll see on the 25th that he's a different animal.
Uh, how many southpaws has David faced in his career? And
Yeah.
you know,
The only one that he has faced, it's the one that I remember is Dennis Douglas that I remember. You know, but he feels very comfortable. Um, Fighting southpaws. We have, like I said, we have four southpaws here now, and he's doing very well with them. And and I'm super happy with what I see.
mm, that's awesome, man. That's great to hear. Now, you know, and I know that you're not looking past Boo Boo, but it seems to me that the kind of like the whole Showtime platform was kind of looking past Boo Boo by asking him all these questions about Canelo. Um, you know that being said, like, do you think that the odds will be kind of wide in your favor?
I think they're going to be wide, because I think David has proven a little bit more than Boo has. I think the people are with David right now. And a lot of people, to be honest with you, in my opinion, I think everybody believes that David is going to beat Boo Boo. We don't. I don't think that. I think that Boo was a great fighter. He's a very dangerous fighter. We're treating him like a world champion, and we're not underestimating Boo. In my heart, I believe that David's going to stop Boo Boo like in the 7, 8 round. Um, and we're going to try our best to do that. But I think it's going to be a great fight. We never faced a style that like Boo Boo. He's unique. He has a good style, but I don't think he's on David's level.
Mm.
we're
Now, you said prediction on the seventh round. Obviously, with the style that Boo Boo has, it seems to me that you guys are gonna have to go and get him. Do you believe he fades a little bit in the second half of the fight?
I think so. A fighter like Boo, that it's always constantly moving his legs and moving his body. It comes to a point that we're gonna make him fight. He's gonna throw punches, and with a fighter like that, that's not very calm. Um, he's gonna get tired, and when he gets tired, I think that's gonna be our opportunity to start working a little bit more and hurt him a little bit in order to put him away.
Um, in the same token, it seems to me when it comes down to the WBC, when it comes to the 168 pounds, it seems to me that you guys are mandatory for Canelo Alvarez. Is that true?
Yeah, you know what? That's what people say. That's what I hear. To be honest, I'm not really focused on that. You know, uh, get ready, prove ourselves, and if the opportunity comes and they they do what they say they're gonna do, uh, we shouldn't worry about nothing. But at the end of the day, you know how this game is. I mean, nothing's guaranteed, 100%.
100%, 100%. Him teaming up again with Andre Rozier, does that make a more of a difference in this fight?
You saying about Boo Boo?
Yes.
Teaming, I didn't even know he was teaming up. I don't even know who that guy is. I thought his father was training him. But that's good. I feel much better. Like I said, I don't think. Why would he leave his father? They've done a great job, undefeated fighter. A lot of people didn't want to fight him. A lot of people avoided him. Why the fuck would you leave your father now? I mean, that's good. Go ahead. Go train with somebody else. That's an advantage for us. But I would suggest, stay with your father. Your father got you where you're at, and he's done a great job with it. So, um, but I don't know. I don't know the reasons, or I don't know why. Why would he do that? Uh, but hey, whatever makes him happy, go ahead.
Watching some of the interviews of your son, David, he seems like he has a bright light um, in his soul. He's very motivated. I don't know if it was the first pay per view event that he had, uh, but there's a shine to him and a hunger to him. When you see that nobody knows your son better than you do, what do you feed off of that?
Right now, he's just all over the place. He's super motivated, super happy, and I mean, it's he's in a different world, man. He's many good things, that motivate him, and man, he's just hungry, man. I see him in a different world.
That being said, do you believe that we would see the best David Benavidez November 25th?
Yeah, learning, he's getting better. I mean, a little bit slower, but right now he's a baby, man. He's only 26 years old, man. He hasn't even captured that grown man, all that the string, I think he's just getting better and better. I think every year you're gonna see him improving and getting more stronger.
Beautiful, man. That's great to hear. If you had to leave Demetrius Andres a message, what would you leave him?
You know what, Andra? He talks a little too much, so I'm not gonna do it. Because he's a good guy. I like Demetrius. I would just tell him, get ready, man, get ready. I know he's getting ready. We are getting ready. Let's give the fans a good fight and win the best. He thinks he's gonna win. We think we're gonna win. So we're super excited for that fight. We're super excited for November 25th, and it's gonna be a hell of a fight, man.
He mentioned the winner of this fight is the best 168 pounder. Do you agree? He believes that the winner of this fight is the best at super middleweight. Do you agree? Yes, yes. Demetrius Andre said that the winner of this fight is the best at super middleweight. Would you have to agree?
Well, so if he beats David Benavidez, I would definitely. Hopefully, we credit also to be the best at 168.
100%, 100%. And going back onto your comment, a Canelo Alvarez fight versus Terrence Crawford. You believe that that's not a fair fight?
No, man, come on. We're gonna see the same thing. We already seen what happened. I believe that, in my opinion, at 154, if you would ask me before, I would say Jermell would beat Terrence Crawford. Because Terrence Crawford is a less weight, little guy, coming up, in my opinion. But now what I seen, it will be the same thing. I mean, two divisions, will be a lot too much for Terrence Crawford. It, 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 it's
Mm.
when he fought Junior, Jose Benavidez Jr., he was moving a lot, because he felt that power when he fought Junior. Does it make sense? So now, that was the best fight he ever had, fighting Junior at 147. Imagine fighting at 168. I think it will be the same outcome that whatever what happened with the Jamal Charlo.
Do you think that Canelo would choose him over your son?
I don't think he's a lot of people know that. Uh, I think Canelo has to fight David Benavidez or Bebo or fight somebody at 168. And if you don't care about respect or what people think, you keep fighting those 118s, 122s, and 147s or whoever one is willing to go up to 168. I got a 118 that would love to fight Canelo Alvarez, and he will go all the way up to 168.
Wow, you funny. um,
Hey, I mean, hey, anybody would fight him. I mean, if you ask at 118 and 122, if you tell them, hey, would you go up and fight Canelo at 168? They won't even think about it. They will say, let's make when let's make it happen.
mm, uh, now this week we have Zordo Ramirez versus this I forget my man's name from New York City. I think it's not Martin. Have you heard about the? Oh, Smith, Joe Smith. What do you think about
Yeah.
that fight?
Yeah, I think hey, la llave está en el cajoncito, el Poncho Cano que están diciendo, güey. Hello, man. That's another great fight, man. Wade, Smith. I think it's a good matchup for both. They both need this fight. Whoever wins this fight is ready to go to another level. Whoever loses is going back a long way. You know, Zurdo hasn't been looking good, and Smith lost, and whoever wins this fight might fight B Ball or somebody, maybe the rematch or something, or Bet the Beer, whatever, I mean, Smith lost to Bet the Beer, right?
Hmm.
Bet the Beat. I mean, I can't even
Yeah,
pronounce his name.
Beevil.
But if he wins, he can fight Beeble, but he could fight Bet the Beer. So I think it's a great fight, man. I think it's good. I mean, I like both fighters. I like Zurdo. He's my friend, and I wish him the best. I just wish he could train hard, man. And stay focused.
Do you believe? Do you lean towards him in that fight coming up this week?
What was that?
Who do you lean towards in that fight this week?
Man, that's a tough one. I would love for Sudo Ramirez to win, because he's my friend. But at the end of the day, it all depends how prepared he comes, how much he wants it. Uh, I'm going for him, and hopefully he wins. But it's a 50, in my opinion, it's a 50-50 fight.
Mm, mm. Um, when it comes down to the ceiling of David, when it comes down to divisions, uh, where do you see him ending his career? Because, like you said, he is a baby still, a really big one.
Yeah, he's not. I mean, he feels comfortable at 168. We're not struggling, but we could definitely fight at 175. I would love to fight B-Ball or Betevier, if there was the opportunity, next or whatever, we will not think about it. We'll go ahead and fight. Um, Maybe when he's 32, 33, maybe go to cruiserweight. Maybe I don't know. I don't know, but I think he has the height, and but right now we're just more focused on 168 and 175. So I think that's for now. But we want to face the more dangerous fighters.
How does it feel for legends like Sugar Shane Mosley and James Toney having your son on their pound for pound list?
Who do they have on their pound for pound
David,
list?
David.
Oh, David Benavidez or
Yep.
oh, shit, I love it. Yeah, shit, they're right on point. It makes me super super excited, super happy. For those people that know a lot about boxing, and when Mike Tyson talks about David, man, it's very rewarding. And I feel super happy when Julio Cesar Chavez talks about David. Man, legends, man. I think we're on the right track. We just need to stay focused, keep working hard, and don't lose ground, man. And we got to prove them that they're right. So we got looking impressive.
Also in November we have Shakur Stevenson and Edwin De Los Santos. Do you like that fight?
Yeah, I don't think there's nobody that could beat Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson is a really good, smart fighter, very technical, fast, smart. Uh, yeah, no, there's no. I don't think so. I don't think De La Cruz could beat Shakur Stevenson.
Um, you've actually you faced De Los Santos with Rayo. He obviously has a big punch. Do you believe that Shakur Stevenson has enough punching power to keep him off him?
Nah, you know what? To be honest, my respects to De La Cruz. He's a good fighter, but fucking Shakur, man, it's on another level, man. That motherfucker's a good, good fighter, man. I don't see nobody beating him right now. I mean, I just don't see it right now. As long as he stays focused, fucking dedicated, and hungry, that guy, world champion, multiple belts, pound for pound, the best at his weight.
Not even Javante Davis.
Davis. I love Gervonta Davis. He adjusts and he's fought everybody, and he is. This guy is so tall, man, and fuck, he's
Also
If
signed
that fight happens,
Usyk versus Tyson Fury from my last prediction of the night.
get that Usyk. I just heard Usyk.
Usyk and Tyson Fury just got signed.
I like both of those fighters, man. Fuck, man. I enjoy watching both of them, and it's gonna be not gonna miss that fight. Both of them, whoever shows up that night, man. Both of them are funny. Both of them are exciting fighters. Both of them have a lot of skills, and it's gonna be fun to watch, man.
Uh, who do you favor in that fight? Because it is for undisputed.
Yeah, okay. If you put it that way, I'm gonna have to go with U- uh, Usyk. Just because he has those angles and he moves a little bit, and he has a little bit. I would say a little bit more movement. You know, but but it's a great fight, man. Just because of that, because he's like a little Lomachenko. Big Lomachenko. So just because of that, I will give it to him.
Yeah, uh, I like that. Not a lot of people say it. I'm one of the ones that actually say the same thing you're saying. So I think that the angles and the speed can give Fury
It's
some
gonna make the
problems.
difference a little bit.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. Well, Jose, man, it was definitely a pleasure for you to chopping it up with me. Um,
Thank
keep
you,
up the
man.
keep
Thank
up
you
the
to all
good
the fans.
work.
Thank to everybody that was connected.
Absolutely, man. We'll definitely get up real soon. There it is, guys. It's Jose Benavidez. Uh, definitely, the interview was kind of like staticky and stuff like that. But nevertheless, guys, I'm here to chop it up with you guys. This is Mill City Boxing, home of the high level pro boxing media. Please make sure you smash the like button. We got over 88 people on the live. Let's get these likes up and let's talk boxing right now. So let me know what you guys think when it comes down to this matchup with Bubu Demetrius Andres versus David Benavidez. Who do you guys favor in the chat? I will be reading some of the chats right now as well. Always welcome to throw some super chats this way as well. It's always definitely appreciated. And make sure you guys smash the like button because that is free as well. So, I think with the David Benavidez and Boo Boo Andres fight, it's going to be a very complicated fight. I feel like, Boo Boo's definitely going to be on his bike. He's going to try to use his angles. But let's be honest, man, David Benavidez is a great fighter. Um, pound for pound type of a fighter. And, for the people that tuned in a little bit late, also, Jose Benavidez will be fighting Jermell Charlo at 160 pounds. So I feel like the whole card and just breaking news. Jose Benavidez said that David Morrell's going to be on the card. So what a smacking card! Great card. Obviously, naming all these names, you could tell it's going to be a pay-per-view event. So let's break down some of the cards. I mean, Jose Benavidez and Jamal Charlo. I mean, that fight at 160 pounds, Jose Benavidez is coming up on weight. He was, I don't know if you guys remember, but he fought Terrence Crawford at 147. His last fight that he fought was on Showbox at 160 pounds. So he made his debut at 160 pounds probably a month ago. So he's starting to get acclimated. He is a tall guy. Um, rangier guy. He also got he's one of the guys that got shot in his calf. So his leg movement and footwork kind of is not on point. You can see in his past fights. But in that fight, it seems to me that Jamal Charlo is using that fight as a tune-up. So, uh, is that a good tune-up? You guys let me know in the comments section. I mean, uh, this is a fight that basically can kind of ruin his shots against the Canelo Alvarez fight. Does he have to look superior? What happens if Jose Benavidez makes this a war, makes it a fight that people don't want to see a Jamal Charlo fight, And the WBC has David Benavidez as a mandatory for Canelo Alvarez as well. So I feel like the whole card of the outcome of the whole card is going to kind of really figure out what's going to happen in Cinco de Mayo, when it comes down to Canelo Alvarez. So, I mean, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I'll be reading some of these comments as well. We're going to be chopping it up for 10 to 15 minutes if you guys smash the like button, or we could just end this segment right now. So please smash the like button. This is Mill City Boxing, home of high level pro boxing media. Once again, the trainers channel, the fighters channel, the people's channel. We do this for y'all. So fresh you on drugs. David's destroying doo facts. Oh man, let's keep it chill. Let's keep it chill in the comments. Let's keep it chill in the comments. I got a one little curl that going crazy, but it is what it is. Um yes, sir. Wavy Bay Media. Hit that like button, people. 100. Let's let it hit. Let's let it hit. Larry, listen. If Andre stops moving and stays on the ropes, he is for a very difficult situation against a guy who's notorious for throwing fast and hard combinations. Absolutely. Demetrius Andres cannot be on the ropes in this fight with David Benavidez. He definitely needs to, use the lateral movement, but not as much. I think he needs to take steps and pivots. He needs to dictate the pace of this fight. Because if he doesn't dictate the pace of the fight, he's gonna let David Benavidez move the way he wants to move. He needs to be able to push back David Benavidez at times in this fight, numerous of times in every single round. So, do you guys believe that Demetrius Andres has what it takes to be able to come up with a game plan like that? You guys let me know in the comment section. I'll definitely be betting on David Benavidez. Uh, and I will be betting on a decision. Jose Benavidez, uh, these guys, they're very notorious with the offense. They're offensive fighters, offensive trainers, and not saying that they don't teach defense, but they're always talking about knocking out people. They're always talking about it. They also said that they were going to knock out Caleb Plant, and Caleb Plant went 12. It was getting bad for Caleb towards the end, but I kind of believe that uh, Andres has the skills to survive the 12-round fight. But does he have enough offense? Will he pull a Jermell Charlo against Canelo Alvarez, not engaging, so he does not get knocked out? Um, you know, Demetrius Andre is moving up in weight. He only had one fight with DeMar Nicholson at 168 pounds. So this is still an 8-pound jump. And Demetrius Andres is moving up in weight due to the fact of the inactivity, due to the fact of you never know. It could just be for the big fight. It could just be a very similar situation like this past Saturday that he's going for the check. He is a guy that is from my area, but I keep it unbiased, and we have to keep it unbiased on this channel because if I keep it biased, I won't do a YouTube channel. To be honest with you, I have to keep it 100 of what I see in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? Teach Andre will win. Well, give me a little bit more than that. Tell me how you believe he would win. You know what I'm saying? I do believe that he has the skills to make it happen, but then again, I haven't seen enough punch output from Demetrius Andres. I see a lot of wild shots that he's shooting all his might, and I think that with a guy like David Benavidez, he has to shoot shots like that, but how many shots can you shoot like that without blowing your load? Pause. Um, we never seen Andre face anything like a Benavidez, and we don't know how fast he will how fast he will be at 168 pounds. That's true. I mean, if you did, but you have to also look at the DeMar Nicholson fight. Thinking back on the Hector Garcia versus Gervonta Davis fight, he was on the card and he fought DeMar Nicholson, which is not a guy that is heavily he never was a contender for a title. This is a guy that got knocked down by numerous of times against Edgar Berlanga. Um, And in that fight with Demetrius Andres, I do remember him getting knocked down by a jab by Demond Nicholson. So that being said, it keeps me in justice when it comes down to what could possibly happen in this fight. Um, you know, if you have David Benavidez shooting jabs, he's a lot stronger than Demond Nicholson. So I do favor David Benavidez in this fight. I do think that he will. Let's be honest. Demetrius Andres is not going to be there to be hit. He's not going to be there to be hit, but I don't see him neutralizing anything besides footwork. I see that he has the footwork, but I just don't see anything offensively that he could do to change the outcome of the fight. Um, Nevertheless, this is a big fight, November 25th. I think that we're in for a treat. I'm glad that we have Jose Benavidez versus Jermell Charlo on the card. I think that boosts up a lot of the pay-per-view numbers. Obviously, people like David Morrell. Hopefully, he's fighting somebody at that caliber. That we're speaking very highly of David Morrell, but we haven't really seen anything with him. But he definitely passes the eye test, just like Jerron Ennis. Larry Liston, Benavidez has to count off the ring through or else might get outboxed. Absolutely, but in the same time, you know, to be able to hit, you have to be in outer range, mid range, or close range. So no matter what, once uh, Demetrius Andres throws punches, he's gonna be in for a treat. I think that uh, I think David Benavidez keeps it pretty tight, but in the same time, I like to see more. Andre got dropped by Demond Nicholson. Fresh, man, he gonna be when he gets destroyed. I mean, Ultra Instinct. I definitely agree. This is a really bad style matchup for Demetrius Bubo Andres. And if you guys look at the past opponents that Demetrius Andres fought, he's always been the longer, bigger fighter. Pause, but it's the truth. He hasn't really had a wide history of fighting American fighters. To be honest, another thing too is that you know, not just that Bubo Andres hasn't fought anybody in the caliber of Benavidez, but he hasn't fought anybody in the caliber of a Jermell Charlo, a Jamal Charlo, a Daniel Jacobs, and none of those names whatsoever. Demond Nicholson is not a good name to be comparing a guy. That's a huge, huge jump from Demond Nicholson from DC. Going to fight, David Benavidez, pound for pound. Uh, no way. I mean, I don't see it. Shout out to my people that rock with Boo Boo and all that, but I just don't see it. He has to fight a perfect fight. Um, but that's just my behalf. Hashman Boxing. Andre is one of the best defensive fighters in the last decade. Well, you know, one thing that I have to say is people will start talking about technicians. People will start talking about defensive fighters. Well, what's part of defense is putting yourself in range to counter. And I feel like if you look at, you're speaking upon, Demetrius Andres, one of the best defensive fighters of the decade, brother. Who'd he fight? Who'd he fight to say such a thing? I think that that's something that's it's kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? I think that's kind of crazy to be saying that you are one of the best defensive fighters of the decade, and then your resume doesn't show anybody that we know. I think that's just kind of. I mean, I don't want to discredited so much because Terrence Crawford had a similar resume, but no matter what, I mean, uh, Terrence Crawford ended up fighting some names that we knew or we heard of. Fresh BX asked Jacobs what happened when he sparred Andre. I actually asked. I talked to Jacobs about that actually. So Sparring is sparring, my man. You put the 12-ounce gloves with the headgear, and you might call yourself a lion, and you might be a kitty cat. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what that is. Destroyed Demond way better, and I have Christian beating him too. Christian versus David, a better matchup. Okay, okay. They're just trying to make David versus Canelo Cinco de Mayo to make it bigger. Well, then we have a lot more things. It seems to me that Demetrius Andres is really, really on an uphill battle for this fight to fight Benavidez. So that's just my opinion. Why are you talking like Andre wasn't the number one amateur? He was the number one amateur, but we're talking about amateur. We're talking about amateur. He, you talking to him like you talking to me like if he's a prospect. What is a 35-year-old prospect? Nah, man. You got to talk to me more. When you're 35 years old, you don't talk to me about what happened in the amateurs. You talk to me about what happened in your career, in your last 5 fights, in your last 10 fights, or your whole career as a pro. That's just what it is. I'll come back here and said I told you so after Andre wins. Teach, you definitely can, man, and you definitely should. You know what I'm saying? You probably one of the ones that said that Errol Spence and said that he was going to beat Terrence Crawford, or you was probably one of the ones that said Jermell Charlo was going to beat Canelo. I've been saying I told you so for a long time in this channel. I gotta say, I'm not gonna try to throw some shade or nothing like that, but it is what it is. Um, Larry, listen, appreciate you, man. Try to give out the best points. You know what I'm saying? A fresh 36-year-old prospect, never fought an elite guy. Exactly. I mean, this it's just to be honest, man. I mean, just because you're from my area, I can't just root for you. I was in the amateur sport with Demetrius Andres. I was one fight away from fighting him. You know what I'm saying? I understand how good he is. Last time I checked, Andre ain't never have a close fight. Been undefeated champ since 2013. Yeah, tell me who he has fought in America that is a notable name that we believe that, oh man, it's one thing when you're an amateur and you're changing your pro style. First of all, Demetrius Andres has a style that people don't like when it comes to the pros. People want to see defense in the mid range. People want to see defense in the close range. I got a video on my YouTube channel of Demetrius Andre swinging, missing, and running. That is not defense just because you don't get hit. I'm sorry. It's hit and not get hit. And who are you fighting? It's a big difference here. You know what I'm saying? It's a big difference. I gotta say, Jermell won't be an easy fight for Crawford. Well, uh, I think it's a closer matchup. I think it's a more suitable matchup when it comes down to what we just seen this past Saturday. We got to fight Ronald Gaville 2 time to get Mill City's respect. Well, in the same time, we I can hear what you saying, Fresh BX, but you gotta keep it 100 with yourself. When it comes down to opposition, Caleb Plant was a national champion as an amateur as well. And he did things at the pros. And he did those things as a pros at 168 pounds. We talking about a guy that's moving up in weight, fighting one of the most best offensive fighters at 168 pounds. You know what I'm saying? So all that defense, my brother, you got to shoot. You got to score points here. We got to score points here. Yeah, but it's his resume. Yes, but his resume is not great. His resume is not great. Benavidez beat them badly. Larry, listen, you think Brian Mendoza got a shot against Tim Zoom Mills? Well, this is boxing. Everybody got a shot here, right? But you got to keep it all the way 100. Tim Tszyu is a animal, and what he showed against Tony Harrison, he showed not just that he can punch, but he also showed that he has a lot of boxing ability. Uh, Brian Mendoza, a guy that I've interviewed in the past, a good kid. Got a bit. Now what's really crazy is that Brian Mendoza got probably the better one punch power, but in the same time, um, Tim Tszyu is an offensive technician that has, you know, uh, great timing on his punches. Brian Mendoza is trained by Salas, which is a great trainer. He's getting a lot of great work, sparring some of the great guys out there. Um, but I do think that Tim Tszyu has the edge in this fight. The physical ability, I do give it to Brian Mendoza. So the one punch power and the one punch power and the physical ability will give it to Brian Mendoza. The conditioning going 10. Well, this is going to be 12-round fight because this is for the WBO. Um, I would have to give it to Tim Tszyu. So it's a tough fight. My heart goes for Brian Mendoza, but I'm not gonna lie. And it's hard to bet against him due to the fact of what he has done to his last. He's been the underdog for the past three fights, and he showed a lot of big things. So I'm gonna I would put a safe bet with Tim Tszyu, but then again, um, let's get back and let me give you my prediction in a few days, Larry. Listen, and I'll definitely get back to you on that. I just think that that's going to be it's a closer fight than what people think. I mean, my man Richardson Hitchens said that Mendoza is trash. Um, he sparred him. Shakur sparred him. Sparring is sparring, and these guys are in lightweight classes. So I don't. I have to see a little bit more. But yeah, David will destroy Dudu. Um, he has fought an elite. He has fought elite guys at 168, and Dudu's smaller and has fought nobody. You guys are talking about an amateurs. Ultra Instinct, man. You're speaking a lot of facts here. Uh, Shakur had good things to say about Mendoza. He did have good things to say about Mendoza, but also I believe that Shakur Shakur has starting to mature a little bit more when it comes down to some of these interviews, and what I like about Shakur, and when it comes down to back in the day boxing, he don't speak upon sparring, and he doesn't like speaking upon sparring. He keeps it old school, so I like that. I like that about him, and you're probably not going to hear too much of Shakur speaking bad or good upon sparring and stuff like that. Never heard of I didn't have to sign with the right people. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes signing with the wrong people is kind of like having an easier career. Plus, at the same time, you know, Eddie Hearn, he be throwing the bag out, and he be getting the competition level is not too high on his roster. My opinion, teach. I mean, he touched on it. He touched on it in your interview, Mill City. Yeah, he did. He spoke upon it. You know, they both spoke upon it. I know. Asked a question about it, so you know what it is. Always trying to get you guys the right questions, and all that. Um, but uh, what y'all think about last week's fight? With you said Benavidez fought elite guys. Absolutely, absolutely, he fought elite guys. I mean, think about it. Uh, Anthony Durrell, when he fought him, he wasn't broken down guy. That's a former champion. Ronald, he rematched him. He was also a former champion as well. And then you have to look at it too. David Benavidez is a two-time champion at this division. He's been at this division for a while, so you have to respect his resume in the division. And then guys like Kyron Davis. I know Kyron Davis is a 160 pounder moving up, and yeah, he caught up the fight real late, but still a tough guy, man. Still a tough guy, and yeah, Anthony Durrell was somebody at the time. Fresh BX, you know what I'm saying? That's how David Benavidez ended up getting his title. So you know, you can't really. Uh, Graville wasn't no champ. Yes, he was a champion. Do your research on that. I don't know if he was champion at the time, but he is a former champion. Mill City Boxing, I respect you, but they're not elite fighters. At 168 pounds, um, they're they're champions and they're really great fighters. Maybe not elite, as you say, but they're champions, and this is what we have in today's boxing. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is. Mill, they trying to make Tio versus Tank. Eh, Jeremiah, don't be looking at that. That's the cap. That's cap. Um, I don't know if you've been noticing, but ESPN, some of their writers or journalists or whatever the case may be, they're talking a lot of cap, bro, a lot of it. So just be aware with some of that. We keep it 100. I'm cool with Tio, and I'm cool with the Tank team. So you would have heard it first right here. Let's be real. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like some of these other boxing channels that is gonna swerve a fight. I'll talk to you guys about a fight that I believe that down the line will be great, and I'll get people's predictions on it. But I'm not gonna come out here and tell you that this fight was gonna happen. Let's be honest. Remember when that Chris Colbert was announced that he was going to fight Tank, and I nipped it in the butt, and I interviewed Endless and Calvin right away, and just to give you guys the real, you know, let's be honest, you can hear it from the horse's mouth right here, and plus I got a lot of these guys' phone numbers, so we chop it up. I just send a text and say, yo, is it real? Is it not? But nah, Javante Davis. Be in the lookouts for Pitbull Cruz. That seems like the fight that's going to be happening. That's the fight that's been warmed up. That's the fight that's been promoted heavily. So just be a lookout. A lot of people don't want to see the fight. Um, who knows? Maybe they come up with another guy. Tank's going to be fighting in the beginning of next year, top of the year. Most likely in January. So be on the lookout for that. And as soon as I get my exact um, you know the source that tells me right away. We look up Graville being the champ. Mill City, tell us who he beat. It's not about who he beat. It's about what he has done in the sport. And yeah, maybe they're not elite, but Anthony Durrell was was a guy. He was the guy at 168 pounds. And we're talking about 168 pounds here. We're not talking about no other fight here. You know what I'm saying? Is Barrios gonna fight Boots now? And do you think Uga should retire? I do. I do think Uga should retire because he got kids. I think that last post that he put on Instagram was sad for me. You know what I'm saying? I like that he's a Cuban guy that wants to show that he's a warrior, but in the same time, let's not be stupid here. Let's make sure we retire with all our faculties at the end of the day. He's had a lot of high paydays. Fighting Errol Spence, fighting Manny Pacquiao. You know, even Sean Porter. You know what I'm saying? A lot of those paydays should have did it for him. And I like the guy, so I don't want to see harm for any of these other boxers and stuff like that. Most people are banking on Boo Boo getting tired. What if he don't happen? How does Benavidez win? Make a smart breakdown on why. Not trolling. Oh, okay. I'll give it to you right now. You know, be honest with yourself when it comes down to look at Jermell Charlo moving up at weight, right? Because this is Boo Boo moving up 8 pounds. He didn't look great against Demar Nicholson. His punch output wasn't high; it was low, um, and there's not much thinking when it comes down to a guy like Demar. Demar Nicholson made it a harder fight than what it should have been. Also, Demar Nicholson is no David Benavidez. If David Benavidez fought Demar Nicholson, he would definitely get knocked out easily. Um, I've spoken to Demar Nicholson. Demar Nicholson is a guy that has gotten dropped by Edgar Berlanga, I think 3 times in that fight. You know, and if you be honest, man, I know we don't want to do the triangle theory of he beats him and he beats him because styles make fights, but and the same time breaking down just the fight itself, um, I believe that when it comes down to Bubu Andres, he's not the sharpest fighter. You know what I'm saying? He's an awkward fighter. He throws punches and angles, and he tries to get his head off the line every time he shoots a big shot. The one of the best punches that Bubu Andres has is the over the top left hand. That's going to be the punch that he does. He doesn't have an excellent uppercut. He doesn't have an excellent right hook, and he's not. Let's be honest. He's not as sharp as a guy like Caleb Plant. He has great footwork. I think he has probably a lot of dog. But when's the last time we've seen Bubu Andre stay in the pocket with a big puncher? I'll wait. So I think the combination punching with you know to meet with David Benavidez is going to be the key factor. I think that the uppercuts that David Benavidez are way more excellent. I think that is going to be a definitely. It's going to be. He's not going to make it a war, and David Benavidez is going to force it to be a war. I think the arm length is not a huge difference, but we have a height. A little bit. David has probably a little bit more height on him, and he spreads his legs very wide. They both do actually. Um, my opinion on this fight, uh, I do think that Andre fades towards the end of the fight, and I think that age. He's the older fighter, and he's the more inactive fighter, and I think that's going to play a big part in the fight. With inactivity and being around 35 years old, it's not a good mix for a guy that's 26 years old. We gotta keep it 100 here. You know what I'm saying? And he hasn't really been acclimated at the 168 pounds. So with all those factors, I would have to factor the fresher, bigger, um, more volume. I mean, what beats a mover, a combination puncher that can cut off the ring. I think David Benavidez cuts off the ring very well. So I think that it's not going to be hard to get to him. You know what I'm saying? And especially towards the later rounds, I do think that Boo Boo will be better in the earlier rounds, but we're not going to see a lot of punch volume coming from Boo Boo Andres. We haven't seen it in the past. We're not going to see it now. This is not no Jason Quigley here. This is not no Jason Quigley here. So that's where I think, and I think the fight does go to decision because Boo Boo's going to be on his bike. Anybody that believes that Boo Boo is going to sit there and throw combinations, it's not going to happen. He has a better shot with Jermall Charlo. I think that I give him an edge on Jamal Charlo, but I also believe that if he stayed in the pocket with Jamal, he could get knocked out by Jamal. But again, I think I would favor Boo Boo against Jamal, but in the same time, David wipes all those names that we mentioned. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to talk about David Morrell because I think he has a lot of the goods as well. Andre not gonna have the the 20, I think you want to say 20-inch ring Plant had. We haven't they haven't made the decision yet. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's going to make a difference. Mill City, I'll bet you in the he sits in the pocket and backs Benavidez up. No way. No way. I mean, it's possible because we did see Plant, do it a couple times, but I believe that David wanted to do it. When David wanted to move forward, um, he moved forward. So I said Bud was stopping everything in motion years ago. Fresh, that's good, but you're talking about one of the best fighters in the world. So You know, the average eye could see that Crawford has that talent. You know, but that's just my opinion. Make sure you guys smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Smash the like button. Um, you know, that's my breakdown on the Demetrius Andres and David Benavidez fight. Um, I think that being, nah, that's stupid. You ain't betting on everything. Oop. When do Boo Boo lose? Don't be trying. Don't be crying. We told y'all weight classes matter, dude. Yep. Didn't Bud say Andre was one of the most talented fighters he ever seen? Um, honestly, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that, and it's not like Demetrius Sanchez doesn't have talent. I don't think I don't I have please send me that on my inbox on Instagram. Send me that. I have to see that because I haven't seen that. I know that he was one of the best amateurs, but I don't he hasn't shown anything as a pro yet. So, obviously he is a two division champion, which we have to give props to that. But yeah, you tell me, do you know his first and last name or who the guy that he beat? I'll wait. What the fuck does that mean, Fresh? Great picks. Shit wrong all the time. Okay, you guys. I see you guys battling Jose. He has real as good. He has real good chance of beating Jermell. Hey, that's something there. You know, due to the fact that inactivity and what the demons that Jamal has been, going through, he does. Um, I think Jose Benavidez is damaged goods in my behalf. I think that he still could punch, but without that calf, it's hard. It's hard. I seen his last fight at 160 pounds. He got the guy out of there, but if you look at the guy that he fought, uh, you look at the fight. It was on Showbox. It wasn't impressive to me. The guy was. I don't like to call anybody trash, but no, that's just what it is. Uh, but I see you guys are going in on the comments. Make sure you guys smash the like button, man. Smash the like button. We got 59 likes, 73 people on the live now. Please smash the like button, man. It's free. It's free. That's a lot, Fresh. He definitely had a close fight before he almost lost to Barnes. Yeah. David might not get past Boo Boo. Uh, I think he's gonna be all right. Another thing too is, you know, David chose Boo Boo. You know, he chose him. That means something in boxing too, guys. When you choosing a fighter, it's huge. Because let's be honest, what does David Benavidez get out of fighting Demetrius Boo Boo Andres? Like, what does he get out of that? I don't see he gets anything out of that fight besides, you know, I haven't really seen anybody that said, "Yo, we gotta go watch Boo Boo's fighting. Boo Boo's fighting." Dude, we don't have to all agree on a fight quick, acting like it's it's a turf war. Not sure about that. Hey, Max Kellerman was talking about how bad the scorecards was after Andres and Rand's. Uh, he tried to fight Munguia first. Yeah, a lot of these fights haven't went through, and I don't think it's because they're necessarily scared. I just think that a lot of these guys, Demetrius Andres is athletic. He's a super athletic guy. Yeah, but the thing about it, a lot of these Mexicans don't want to just keep chasing a guy that, first of all, you're not chasing money. Second of all, I'm gonna really have to chase my opponent all throughout the ring. You know what I'm saying? Boring fight in my behalf. You know what I'm saying? How you get dropped by Lamont Nicholson? Laughing my ass off. Larry, listen, that's just I think it happened in the first or second round, man. It happened in the first or second round, and it was with a jab, and they didn't count it, man. They didn't count it. Sampson said they wanted Munguia, not Andre. Hey, Munguia didn't want that smoke. That's that's the word on the street. The word on the street is that they made up a contract. Oscar De La Hoya sent it over, and you know, David's people signed it, and they didn't hear nothing after that. Andre doesn't run. Andre doesn't run. Andre doesn't run. Andre doesn't run. Yo, go on my Twitter, bro. Go on my Twitter. I posted him running. It was so bad. It was so bad. I couldn't believe it. I started laughing. I started laughing. Check out my Twitter, Mill City Boxing. I posted it up, man. That shit was hilarious. Check it out. You guys will all laugh, man. You guys will all laugh. He threw like a punch, boom, boom, missed, then ran like I'll be honest, like 4 steps and did like a U, and I was like, oh man, that's bad. That's check it out, Larry. Listen on my Twitter. Yo, it was hilarious. I was like, yo, like I can't believe it. I can't believe it. The quote was, "This is the boogeyman," and then they posted the video. It was crazy. It was hilarious. I'm gonna go now, bro. Check it out, bro. Come back. Tell me what you think, bro. It's quick. Just check that out. It was bad. It was bad. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. You talking about the Sulecki fight where he dominated him? I don't care. You ran. What you scared of? It wasn't like defensively. He wasn't even in his boxing stance. He was run like legitly. He sprinted like 4 steps. Woo! It was like what? Nah, man. You don't do that. Just because you put yourself in an awkward situation. He leans in too much. He gets off balance. You know what I'm saying? He puts himself in predicaments like that. He's a super awkward fighter, man. Super awkward fighter. And I think that's what yo, check it out, man. Ha ha ha. He threw a big wide miss shot and ran his with the back turn. Yo, bro, it was bad. It was bad. And then on the title it said, "This is the boogeyman?" Question mark. Come on, and then we're gonna talk about so yo, that was defense. Larry, listen, that was that was defense right there. That run, it, it is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? So, um, I think that David Benavidez, he holds his composure. He's a beast. You don't want you don't want no part of it, and I think it's for the payday. Obviously, he's going to be making a 6-figure payday. So it is what it is. You a casual distractor with a bunch of Andre haters talking points. You say everything people who don't like him say. No, man. I'm speaking upon a video. Fresh BX. Go on my Twitter. Check it out. Matter of fact, you don't have to check it out because you already mentioned the fight that it was. It is what it is, my guy. You know what I'm saying? You know what it is that a lot of people that call people casuals are the ones that are super groupie upon a certain fighter. I'm a fight fan. I'm not one of those ones that's like, oh, nobody can beat him. No, like I'm a Terrence Crawford fan, but I'm not gonna go say he gonna beat Canelo Alvarez. I'm not gonna do what Shakur says. You know what I'm saying? Nah, that's just what it is. I'm not. The video was at the end of the 12th round. I seen it. So you seen it. So you seen exactly what I seen. Now tell me, be honest, what did you think about that moment, Fresh BX? Tell me what you thought about the moment. You know what I'm saying? Be 100 with yourself, kid. Don't call some people casuals. You know what I'm saying? You riding too hard for boo boo, bro. You riding hard. I might be a groupie upon your mother. Don't get me confused. See, the thing about it is that BX, man, you know, you get disrespectful, man. You get disrespectful, like, and you're not a groupie. You out here calling out people's mothers through a fighter you don't even know. Sad. Casual indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Casual indeed. That's groupiness right there. That's groupiness. You know that's all groupie. You know what I'm saying? When you a groupie, you say shit like that. You feel me? You say shit like that. But that's what it is, bro. Look what you saying. You talk about another man's mother, but you really a groupie upon a fighter you don't even know. I spoke to Boo Boo. Have you spoke to Boo Boo? I was gonna fight Boo Boo in the amateurs. I know more about Boo Boo than you do. Let's be honest. It is what it is. Keep it boxing. For real. For real. Sad. 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 You know what I'm saying? And those people be like that, they be couch potatoes. Couch potatoes fucking writing shit and shit. Trust me, I be in New York all the time for the fights. You know what I'm saying? So I wish someone would say some shit like that in front of me. Cause this one right here really know how to get down. I really know how to fight. That's one thing. I'm not one of these other boxing content creators. I really know how to get it in. That's facts. All hype for no reason. All hype for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Nevertheless, man, going off. You disrespected me, then talk. Keep it boxing. Y'all internet dudes gonna find out. Let's be right. You know, we're not even gonna entertain you, Fresh BX, man, because you really sad right now. You know what I'm saying? You really sad. I have Mill in a street fight versus Dudu. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be honest, man. Jorge Linares, you think wins against Tim Zoo, win and Tim Zoo, and Shakur stopping? Uh, and so you mentioned a lot of things there, Sean. Jorge Linares was gonna be fighting my man out there, the one that fought the one that fought the one that supposedly beat Josh Taylor. What's his name? I forgot his name real quick. Come on, guys. Real boxing heads, let me know what it is. Um, thank you. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys. Facts. Um, who is it? You, you guys know who I'm talking about. Jorge Linares is fighting Catterall. Thank you, Bush God. Thank you. I appreciate you. Yeah, he gonna be fighting Catterall. I think that yo Linares has been going through it. He's gotten knocked down a few times. He's a dog. He could fight, but Catterall can box, and I think that Catterall probably wins a decision. And yeah, I think he wins a decision. He's going over there to his country as well. Uh, Jorge Linares is really trying to get a paycheck right now. Um, he is a legend in his own way, and we just got to keep it there. I feel like yeah, that's what I feel like. I feel like it's gonna be a decision Catterall's way. He can outbox. He has the legs, and I feel like Jorge Linares kind of lost his legs right now. So that's what it is, bro. I can't wait for this fight because the narrative changes on Boo Boo's name. It really do because now with that fight, it's just like, have you been hype all your life? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm from New England. Demetrius Andres went to the New England Golden Gloves in Mill City. We were one fight away from fighting each other. We campaigned at 152 pounds when we were 17 years old. Um, and when it comes down to that, I mean, he was definitely one of the best amateurs and shit like that. But you got to keep it 100. When it came down to the pros, he had so many opportunities to fight big fights, and he just never took the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my behalf on it. That's just my behalf on it. He's from Providence. Yeah, he's from Providence, Rhode Island, but that's part of New England. You know what I'm saying? So he had to go to Mill City to fight. No cap. I don't cap. Like he was that dude. You know what I'm saying? I lost in the finals, and the dude that lost to, he didn't want to fight Boo Boo. He was pussy. So yeah, and that's all she wrote. But he was definitely a good amateur. Um, he got better, but there's levels to this. I think Bud gonna fight Jermell Canelo next, or Canelo next. Um, I don't see Bud taking a Canelo fight right now, and I don't feel like I just don't feel like Bud is Canelo's interested. It got to make sense, like Canelo said, and it just doesn't make sense at this point in time. Okay, Tim Tszyu wins. Tim Tszyu win, and Shakur has a good opponent. You think stoppage or decision? Um, I think that Shakur wins a decision. I think that Shakur has to be careful with De Los Santos's punching power. He's also a southpaw. If y'all went listen to the interview with me and Shakur, he did say on this platform that he said, "Yo." He said like this. He said, "Yo, I'm gonna say this on your platform. I love fighting southpaws, and that's because he's a great defensive fighter, and when you're fighting a southpaw, you got certain angles. You can land your jab over the orthodox fighter a little bit easier. So, yeah, Tim Tszyu is a safe bet, though, Sean. That is true. It is a safe bet. You know what I'm saying? But you know, Mendoza got a puncher's chance for sure. That's for sure. That's for sure. I saw that Los Santos guy. He's tailor made for Shakur, slow feet, Overton, and a lot of shots. The thing about with De Los Santos is that if y'all seen yesterday's interview with um with Richardson Hitchens. Now we all know Richardson Hitchens is really, 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 really good friends of Shakur Stevenson, and he sparred De Los Santos, and he sparred numerous rounds with Shakur Stevenson. So to hear it from his own voice that it's a 50-50 fight, you guys, ladies and gentlemen, tell me what y'all think about that. Y'all tell me what y'all think about that. Because watching De Los Santos beat uh, Rayo Valenzuela, which is a boxer puncher and not a bad boxer, and then watching Rayo Valenzuela, he lost to Chris Colbert, but I really believe he won that fight. He can box and he can punch. Now, when De Los Santos, he is, um, he did get De Los Santos did get knocked down by Ryu, but you seen the dog in De Los Santos right after. He went back and rocked Ryu until he rocked him to sleep, and Ryu's going through back-to-back losses. I feel like, and then in Dallas Santos' last fight, this is some facts that you guys don't know or probably do know, but Joseph Adorno beat Shakur Stevenson in the amateurs. And not saying that he could beat him in the pros, but it did happen. Um, Now, if you seen them in the pros, De Los Santos was beating the shit out of freaking Joseph Adorno. And Joseph Adorno, Puerto Rican brother of mine, you know what I'm saying? I rock with him and stuff like that. But I'm sorry, Papito. You got beat up and outboxed. So, these are all factors. And I know I understand the triangle theory don't work in boxing, but it's just something to think about. You know what I'm saying? It really is something to think about. And De Los Santos schooled him. Yes. Yes. So it's just something to think about. And then when you notice that, that Richardson Hitchens just recently sparred De Los Santos, and he said he got a high boxing IQ. We all seen he could punch, but he got a high boxing IQ. And remember, it's a southpaw softball matchup. Remember, we seen this with against Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford went southpaw the whole way around, so it means something. How old was Adorno when he beat Shakur? It wasn't the amateurs; they were young. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't really matter, but it, but just to say, Joseph Adorno has a good amateur pedigree. You know what I'm saying? In reality, he's probably a better amateur than a pro. But just a long story short, I'm just saying, like, Joseph Adorno could fight, and he could box and he could punch, but he could box. And you seen the fight. I mean, I didn't give him that many rounds winning, and I'm gonna be interviewing Adorno as well to tell us what he thinks about the fight because he's been in there with both of them. But just to hear Richardson Hitchens like not siding with his best friend, saying, "Yo, like we didn't get like, oh, it's gonna be a wipeout." Like Mickey Bay said, "Oh, it's gonna be a wipeout." No, I was shocked. I'm like, Richardson Hitchens is saying this is a 50-50 fight. Whoa. Like I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that. I'm telling you, he will give Shakur that extra off that he needs to demand for those great fights that the others avoid. Now, do I think that Shakur got more of the boxing ability to win this fight? Yeah, absolutely. But what happens in the exchanges? That's gonna be something that's a part of boxing too. You know what I'm saying? What happens when, Shakur tries to land a hook and it lands, but in the same time we got De Los Santos throwing a hook right back at him or a right hand right at him. You just never know. And De Los Santos is punching with two hands, not just one. But I heard some insight from some sparring in Philadelphia. De Los Santos is weak to the body, and there's some pictures of him being very, very, very overweight after that Joseph Adorno fight. So, just to keep that in mind, a draw was fine. Both fighters was boring. You talking about the Lubin and Ramos? Yeah, I got that right away. And you're right, bro. A draw wouldn't have been. It wouldn't have been bad for me. It just feel a lot of it was such a boring fight, and nobody really took over the rounds. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of like quote unquote swing rounds. But when we talk about the sharper puncher, the one that landed some clean punches, I think that it was Lubin, and I think also that uh, Ramos after the seventh round didn't do anything at all. Anything at all. And I definitely gave Lubin the round one. So 7-5 for Lubin would have been, a better a better outcome for me, but and a draw, but that's just what it was. Commentary was just messing up everybody's thoughts on the fight for real, for real. Shakur never really been in there with the dog, right? Never really been in there with a dog. I mean, I do think that a dog his size, right? Because I do think that Oscar Valdez is a dog. It's just that it's a big size difference in that. So we definitely need to see that. Barrios versus Salute Mills, Barrios versus Thurman, because Keith's scared of Nightcrawler Ennis. Well, they already fought, bro. Yeah. Blind Faith, they already fought. I don't know if you remember, but yeah, Thurman beat him. Decision. Emielo versus uh, that's a good fight. I think Emilio Navarrete would win that, Sean. I think he's super awkward. Uh, Robinson's he's awkward too. I do think that Robinson is probably the bigger puncher, but in the same time, is he going to be able to get off? He's a good fighter, but I think Navarrete wins that fight. You know, um, don't ever leave it to the judges. Don't. Valdez with though PEDs is a different dude. Remember, yeah, yeah. Everyone is right. Everyone is smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Smash the like button. It is free. It is free. And me, Thurman would have smoked Ugas in 5 rounds. Shaking my head. Should have took it. Yeah, absolutely. I just hit up Thurman today, and he got a lot of interviews to do, but he gonna be fitting me in probably in the next couple weeks. Probably in the next week to be. Robesi Ramirez is the best at 126 pounds. Can't argue with it. Can't argue with that Cuban. That Cuban can punch too. Um, can't argue with it. Yeah, he destroys wood for sure. So, you familiar with Matt Remillard? No, I'm not, bro. He was from the Hartford area. Good boxer, also. Nah, man. I haven't. I'm not familiar with him. Sorry, man. You don't know shit about boxing, Hash man. Come on, man. Leave those guys alone. Now you're gonna get destroyed like Fresh and leave crying too. Web out there. Oh, speaking about Gary Russell, Antoine Russell, he just hit me up, so we're gonna be doing a live as well. And guys, my brother from another mother hit me up today too. James Lights Out Tony. He just got inducted to the Hall of Fame up in Atlantic City. He hit me up. I'll probably hit him back up. Hopefully, he got his Google password so he could join us on the YouTube live. If not, hopefully you guys will follow me on Instagram at Mill City Boxing Podcast, and we'll be doing the interview there if we can't do it here. But yeah, that's my bro right there. Kind of hard to understand him at times, but I try to like translate due to the fact of it's sad, because he's been in there with some of the best guys ever. You know what I'm saying? And he was not one of those guys that moved around and shit like that. Mills, who Russell's fighting next? Hitchens is a real problem at 140. Yeah, and that fight will happen later on in the future. That's not going to happen anytime soon. Plus, they're in two different platforms. But yeah, I definitely agree. I think that he is a good matchup for him. He lost to Mikey Garcia. Mm, mm, mm. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know who we talking about, but I will. He beats his ass in the rematch. Who we talking about? Who we talking about? Hashman boxing. Who we talking about? Ultra Instinct. Yo, what happened to Antoine Russell? Question mark. Why is he so off the radar? If he was active, he'd be the top 540 140. So he just fought, bro. He just fought on the Showbox. Was it main event? Yeah, he was main event. It was like I want to say a month and a half ago to 2 months ago he fought. Yeah, yeah. He another knockout. You know, Hitchens fights like Haney. He fights like Haney, but got more game. My opinion. I think he beats Haney. You know, but I could tell why people say the similarities when I mentioned that to him yesterday. He was furious, but let's be honest. Richardson Hitchens is a lot more defensive. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't get his hit as much as Henny does. Oh, and Cormel, man, Cormel. I talked to Cormel today too as well. What do you think of Cormel Moulton? I think he's good. I think that he's still got a long way to go. I'm glad that his first fight was a 4 round because the way Mayweather was talking, like it looked like he was going to go straight into like an 8 rounder or something. So yeah, very the way he was beating up the guy, it's like how a lot of the guys that he's been beating up in sparring. I want to see him place his punches a little bit more and be a little bit more accurate with the punches and stuff like that. Just the punch placement, just keep working on that. And I think that Cormel Moulton is just a force to be reckoned with at 126 pounds. Just move him slow. I think he needs like 3 4 rounders. I think he needs, you know, the same thing, 3 6 rounders, 3 8s, and get him with like 5, 10 rounders, and then feed him in there with a former champion and get him in there and stuff like that. Haney fights like Corey Spinks. That's my boy Corey, man. Yeah. Yo, William Vargas, man. Yeah, if I tell you that, I don't know if that's a compliment for Corey or not, but they were both undisputed, that's for sure. Mills, can Andre really beat Benavidez? Man, I mean, he has the ability to do it, but does he have enough dog to be able to? Because you're gonna get caught. With a guy like David Benavidez, he's gonna hit you with some shit. Are you gonna be able to take the shot? I haven't really been able to see Demetrius Andres take a shot and fight right back. You know, some people got their own way of talking about dog. My interpretation of dog is like, you hit me, boom, I don't take no steps back and I hit you. I can't, like, you know, when you catch and shoot, well, catch one in your face and shoot right back. That's a dog. You know what I'm saying? That's a real dog. You know. Come on, guys. You know what I'm saying? Come on, chill, chill, chill. You absolutely don't know. Andre is good, but Andre is good. Like he's a good fighter. It's just at 168 pounds is you haven't proved anything yet, and I don't know if he can do something to that. Is Tank versus Tio real? Nah, blind faith. That's cap. Don't listen to any of that. You know I would have been already talking about it. And I text Tio and he's like, bro, Tank don't want to fight me at 140 right now. So that's just what it is. That's not gonna happen. Be on the lookout for Pitbull Cruz. That's real talk. You know what I'm saying? Even though the people don't wanna see it, but that's what it is. Jared Anderson, talk to me. What you think about Jared Anderson? Talk to me. Um, Davis still hasn't fought an A-level fighter. I don't want to go that far, man, because, you know, how long you been in, Mills? I'm late. Yeah, I love boxing. Yeah. Nah, man, we've been here chopping it up for a minute, bro. It's almost like almost 2 hours now. We rocking out. We had Jose Benavidez chop it up with us and his thoughts with the Canelo Alvarez and Jermell Charlo fight, plus a little bit of this Andres and Boo Boo Andres and David Benavidez talk. You know what I'm saying? So we've been really chopping it up right now. I had a fucking I had to go at some dude called BX whatever. He was talking about my mom's and shit over fucking Boo Boo Andres, like if it's like Boo Boo Andres' his cousin or some shit, like over then calling a person a casual fighter fan, you know. So it is what it is. I mean, how can a guy like me be a casual fan, knowing what I know in boxing, but in the same time the people that I talk to, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, nevertheless, that's a good fight though, Blind Faith right there. That's a real good fight. And a lot of people are not even talking about that. Sonny Edwards versus Ben Rodriguez. Killer fight right there. I like it. Larry releases. Get them likes up. Damn right. Let's get them up to 80. Let's get these up to 80. If you rock with my channel, please smash the like button. Um, but yeah, man. Listen, and I want to clear the air with a little bit of something because I feel like I went hard on Jermell yesterday. I felt like I went hard on him, and I'm not backtracking anything that I said, but in the same time, I feel like, you know, when you in there with a big puncher, and it's gonna make you change your mind on who you really are, you know. So when I was saying that, you know, Jermell Charlo is not a lion, he's an alley cat. I'm gonna say something. Um, yeah, maybe he is a lion, but Canelo's a dragon, and he didn't want that fire. Cool. We leave it at that. Go harder to deserve it. You were speaking facts. I mean, yeah, I'm always gonna do that. The zone got some really good fights going on, man. I think boxing has been chilling, bro. November, we're smashing with fights, man. November, we got a whole week. Let's be honest, man. From Zoldo Ramirez to fucking Joe Smith. I mean, we got uh we got the Brian Mendoza and Tim Zoo. We got the shit. I think Shakur fight December, the first week of December. or in November. I gotta check up on that. But yeah, who's Zordo fighting? Joe Smith. Yeah, former lightweight champion. That should be a good fight. He had his meow mix before the fight. Chacho, chacho. You know what I'm saying? You know, yeah. Like I said, like I was going hard on Jermell. I was going a little hard on him and stuff like that. But if I go on that hard on him, then I'm kind of discrediting um Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez is a great fighter and a devastating puncher, and he just didn't have what it take to. And I said this before the fight. I don't know if y'all remember that. I was like, "Yo, Jermell can fight. He can punch, but can he take it?" The durability of going up to the weight class is the big issue here. That's what I'm talking about with Boo Boo. The durability of fighting a guy that can punch. You know, Greg Sanello came out the Mexican version of Love Sosa. What we talking, Greg Hackett? That's my guy. That's my guy too. Uh, Zerto versus Joe Smith. That's a make or break fight for both guys. I like Zordo in the fight. Yeah. I just I like Zordo's technician style, but they both cracking. Let's be honest. They both cracking. 2017 was a fire year for boxing, but 2023 is a better. What you think? Yeah, I think 2023 is the best of this decade for sure. Mills, Bevo or better beef? Ooh, talk about one of the best matchups of boxing. That's the best matchup of boxing. That shit's on a Spence versus Crawford matchup. When we talk about 50-50 fights, that's a 50-50 fight because better beef can take a good punch. Bivol is the best boxing technician at 175. Probably Bivol has the Bivol has the skills, right? He got the skills to become a future cruiserweight champion as well. But, you know, what do we see? Nah, fam, Joe Smith is cooked too. Too many wars. Yeah, he's been in a lot of wars too. But we talking about Zordo Ramirez, a guy that hasn't been motivated to be in the gym to make the weight, to the motivation. I mean, if you watched the interview earlier, Jose Benavidez is good friends with Zordo. I mean, he sparred David Benavidez lots of rounds, and it seems to me he's lazy. So he needs to find the love back in boxing. You know what I'm saying? He went through a dramatic family death, and it's done something to Zordo. You know what I'm saying? So he got to come back and live and want to love boxing again. But Better Beef and Bevo is one of the best fights in boxing. It should have happened already 4 years, for like 4 years ago. But yo, I think that's a great fight. The only thing about it is Better Beef gonna be, is he gonna get old overnight? That's the only thing. But Better Beef is way, way, way underrated when it comes to his boxing ability. A lot of people don't, and a lot of things too. I don't know if you guys heard, but I've interviewed guys that have sparred Better Beef and been in camps with Better Beef, and he sends everybody home with 100% KO ratio. There's nobody in camp that stays in camp. I mean, he's paying extra. He's paying extra to be in camp for these guys. So that's just the word on the street, man. Better be won't don't fight him. That fight needs to happen though. Once that fight happens, boxing, boxing at the light heavyweight division is back on. You know what I'm saying? It needs to happen. Better be destroy Yard, destroy them. But Yard could box, but you know, Yard kind of reminds me of Anthony Joshua. As far as the chin insurance is concerned. You know what I'm saying? Um, That's just my behalf. He could definitely box, but his chin insurance at that weight class, that's it's important. It's important. To be fair, Better Beef gave Usyk fits in the amateurs. He's a hell of a legit. He's hella legit. Uh, but been ducking Bevo for years. It's two different styles too, if you really think about it. Like Better Beef, he's kind of well rounded too, because he hits you at the end of the punch. He also knows how to get inside into the mid range. So he's pretty much well rounded. Versus Bivol is just a master of what he does, super master. Jared Anderson should come down to light heavyweight. Man, I've been saying that shit too. I mean, I don't know about light heavyweight, but he could definitely become a great cruiserweight. You know what I mean? Be the cruiserweight champion of the world right now. Right now, right now. Did Jose say anything yet? Yeah, he said everything that he needed to say. You know, did I miss the interview? You did, but once I post it, or you could just press the dot and go all the way down. Um, Richard Torres should go down. Richard Torres and Anderson, yeah. I've been trying to get Richard Torres, but his dad's been dodging me, man. I'm not even hyped about him. I know he's an Olympian, but I ain't even hyped about the kid like that anymore. Does Usyk versus Fury actually happen? Fury clout chasing versus Francis for the belt. It's just crazy, right? That situation that Francis Organo, his whatever his name is, he's actually getting a title shot. Like, that's crazy. Let's smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to 80 likes. Let's get to 80 likes. I better be beat Jai up up Taya. Jared Anderson versus Ruiz should happen next. Good fight stylistically, but Luis got one of the fastest hands in boxing, so that does kind of mess things up. Mill City, you got connects with everyone in boxing. We need another Matias interview. I'm gonna get you that Matias interview. I talked to Matias 2 months ago. I know he fighting soon too. Um, yeah, but Matias, I rock with Matias. Like, I did two nice interviews with Matias, and I got a lot of love for the dude and a lot of respect for him. And I think he's a nice, rare, very rare type of a talent for sure. You think Tio gonna fight Jose Ramirez early next year? I do think that fight's gonna happen for Tio. I think that do. Um, Blind Faith, Wilder like button. Yeah. Yeah, I love boxing. You got to get Devin and Core on the same screen. I'm gonna get Devin Haney with Zab. I'm gonna definitely get Devin Haney with Zab because that's Devin Haney's godfather. So, and y'all know that me and Zab, we like this. So, Mill City got now, not next. My man, I love boxing. You show that love, I respect you, man. Smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. We almost at 80 likes. Just one more like to 80, and we could really party. Um, you can get Mike Tyson on. I don't know about that one. I'll probably if I get Mike Tyson, it'd be because I pull up to the fight and stuff like that. I can ask a lot of questions, but Mike's Mike's a big interview. You know what I'm saying? I think that's one of the that would be the biggest interview I ever had. I remember for my first time talking to Roy Jones. It was uh, shit, you know, I was so happy. You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite fighters. Mills Mills fantasy fight, Crawford versus Tito. Crawford versus talking about Tito Trinidad. You know what I'm saying? Hey baby, how was work? Work was busy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna, that was my cue. I'm glad that you guys are rocked out with your boy. You already know tomorrow a lot more interviews to come. I think we got Bruce Shushu Carrington, we got Austin Trout, and we got maybe Cornell Moten. I gotta talk, just get back to my text messages when it comes down to Antoine Russell. But I got some dope interviews for you guys. Salute to everybody on the chat. This is Mill City Boxing, home of the high level pro boxing media. Make sure you guys smash the like button if you rock with me. And if you don't, please smash the like button anyway, just because you know what I'm saying, you're a follower. But salute to everybody on the chat. I appreciate every single one of y'all, man. Every single one of y'all. You guys could be doing anything in the world right now, but you rocking with me and you're helping me grow, and I appreciate that. So, nevertheless, good night. I'm in the East Coast. It's nighttime right now. Um, and tomorrow, a lot more interviews to go. So, shout out to my peoples. You already know. Make sure you smash the like button on all the posts that I just dropped today and all the lives. Check me out. One.